Hi, everyone. This is Chris Ashley. It's great to be back with you. We are going to talk a little bit about how our thoughts are powerful messengers today and ways that we can actually use our thoughts to our advantage to help us rather than hinder us. Before I get started, though, that's better. So before I get started, I just want to say, head over to my website. It's changeyourmindtochangeyourreality.com. And there you'll find a free PDF guide that I've put together for you. I've put a lot of work into it. It's going to help you get really clear on your vision of your dream life and help you take steps to manifest it and get started doing it in as little as a week. So all you need to do to download the free PDF guide is just put in your name and email. You'll be added to my newsletter that way. I'm not going to spam you. I sent out very, very few emails. But yeah, it's a way to keep in touch about my book that's coming out called Change Your Mind to Change Your Reality, how shifting your thinking can unlock your health, your relationships, and your peace of mind, get discounts on private coaching sessions, and just kind of join the community, know what's going on. So I hope you'll take me up on that and download my free PDF guide. So let's see. Today, we're going to talk about how thoughts are powerful messengers. So we've talked a lot about the law of attraction and how quantum physics backs it up and how we're these powerful spiritual beings and we live in this universe that is intelligent and listens to us, and what we focus on, we're going to attract into our lives. And then we've also talked about the ego, which is, you know, the main reason that a lot of people aren't manifesting the life that they want, because they're so caught up in fear and insecurity and doubt and worry. And they're kind of living in this world of illusions, right? So today I want to kind of build on top of that and talk about our thoughts. We also talked about beliefs a lot. So thoughts kind of go hand in hand with beliefs. You know, we're kind of taught that we have this stream of consciousness of thinking and that's totally out of our control, right? But we've kind of been taught the wrong lesson. So we can use our thoughts to our advantage. And as you go about your day, start noticing what your thoughts are telling you. So I like to put thoughts into 3 different categories. The first one is thoughts that tell you what you want. The second one is thoughts that tell you where you're unfulfilled in your life. And the third one is thoughts that tell you what you're fearful of. So have you ever noticed how you can just space out for a moment and all of a sudden you're thinking about something and you're like, how did I even start thinking about this? And then you trace it back and you're like, okay, that thought led to that thought, led to that thought. And then you're like, okay, that's how I arrived at this thought. And that's called stream of consciousness. So if we become a little bit more observant and start to really notice what you're thinking, notice what you're noticing, as Mary Morrissey likes to say, then our thoughts can really inform us. So let's talk about those 3 different types of thoughts that I mentioned. And by the way, some of your thoughts are going to be like, what am I going to make for dinner? Or, you know, what plans am I going to do to have tonight? Or, you know, what text am I going to send that person that I'm crushing on? You know, those are not the kind of thoughts I'm thinking of or I'm talking about. So the first thought, the kind of thought that I'm talking about, is thoughts that tell you about what you want. So this could be something like daydreaming about what could be. It could be a longing, an aching for something, something you wish you had, maybe something you see that others have that you wish that you had as well. So maybe you are thinking about how you wish you had that partner of your dreams, or you wish that your health was in a different place than it is now. Or maybe you wish that you had that position at work or a career of your dreams, or you lived in a different city, or you had a better relationship with someone, whatever it is. Any thoughts that really feel about like daydreaming about something you want, this like aching, you want it so bad, this longing, those are thoughts that are going to tell you what you want. And by the way, I really recommend writing these things down. So you can do it in the Notes app on your phone. If you have an iPhone like I do, you could do it, carry like a little notebook around with you, but it's really, really helpful to write these things down. And we're going to use them a lot later. as you keep listening to my program, I'm going to mention these again and reference these again. So it's good to have this list going, because it's going to tell you what your subconscious mind is really longing for. Because sometimes we're not as tuned in to our true desires and our true, places we feel unfulfilled. And it sounds like we should be, but, we're also pulled in a million different directions during our busy day. There's things going on that equate life as a human being that it as, right? The emails piling up in your inbox, that check engine light that's on in your car, your relationships with people, what's going on in your day-to-day life, right? Your job. So, if you're not really tuning in, like, don't beat yourself up. It's totally normal. You're having a human experience, right? We are all having a human experience. So anyway, those are the thoughts that go under what you want. And then the next category is thoughts that tell you where you're feeling unfulfilled. So these might show up as unhappiness, uneasiness, frustration, resentment, anger, jealousy, disappointment. And this could be about life circumstances, relationships, any category, right? Really, in your career, your love life, your home life, non-romantic relationships, your health, anything really. So, notice if when your alarm goes off in the morning, you have to really drag yourself out of bed to get to work. Or maybe you find yourself complaining about the size of your paycheck. Or maybe you feel yourself being jealous that a coworker got a raise, and you see it's a sign that you might not be compensated for what you want. Or maybe you're constantly complaining about your aches and pains, or maybe you're complaining about your landlord, or whatever it is. Just notice where you're feeling unfulfilled in your life, and start to write these things down as well. And then the third type of thought to pay attention to are your fears. So, fear is kind of like the ego's software. And I like to say the ego is the software of being in a human body. So fear-based thoughts are going to keep you in lack. They're going to keep you in competition with others. They're going to make you feel like you're running out of time. They're going to make you feel doubt in your abilities, feel insecure. They leave you feeling stressed and anxious. They're contracting rather than expanding. Maybe they put you in, a state of lack or envy. Are you constantly worried about losing your job? Are you constantly nervous about a conversation that you're going to have someone? Are you anxious about the behavior of your significant other? Are you stressing about a mole you found on your back? Write these down under the fears column. And fears can be powerful, but at the end of the day, fear is just an illusion. Love is the only power that there is. So fear is the ego's way to try to keep you safe, to try to keep you confined to your comfort zone. The ego sees you as a body, right? And you're subject to all the things that bodies are subject to. So the ego thinks, right? Car crashes, gunmen, natural disasters, all of those things. And, the ego does serve a purpose. It's really good for if a bear is attacking you. It's great to kick in that fight or flight response and keep you safe, right? But the ego also, it tries to keep you safe in a way that hinders your spiritual growth, your soul's evolution, right? The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. I'm sure you've heard that saying before. And the ego, or the fears, ego tries to keep you confined to your comfort zone because it's afraid of you leaving it, right? It's afraid that something's going to happen to you. It doesn't understand that you're this powerful spiritual being, and that you're just in this body for a short time as a human being. And that the truth is, nothing can really hurt you, right? You are vast and powerful and expansive, and you're so much more than your body. You're so much more than your mind. You're more than your reactions, your thoughts, your emotions. You are something deep and ancient and sacred and universal, but the ego thinks that you are just a body. So fear can come out in a lot of ways. And it's sad, but fear ends up kind of running the show of, many, many, many people's lives, most people's lives here on planet Earth. So, write down your fear-based thoughts. And we'll use that list a lot later as well. I have a great friend that taught me a really good trick to kind of get rid of your fears and confront your fears and then let them go. But for right now, it's just about paying attention to and noticing the types of thoughts that you're thinking, because they can tell you a lot about your state of mind. And as we keep working together over the course of this program, or if you read my book, we're going to build the life that you would love living. We're going to build your dream life together. I'm going to show you a roadmap to do it, and you're going to build your dream life is really more accurate. So you're going to use all of these lists later on, and they're going to help inform all of that. So while we're on the topic of thoughts, just one other little thing I wanted to talk about is, you can replace that mindless chatter in your minds, that stream of consciousness, like we were talking about, with something that's a little bit more helpful, a little more productive. So I like to use mantras. And, language is so important. The thoughts you think, the words you write down, the words that you use when you talk to other people, all of these are so important. I like to say that it's called spelling because you're casting spells out into the universe, and the universe is always listening. And we're creators. We are conscious creators. So we're never not creating. That's in our nature, right? We always use the law of attraction to create what we want, to manifest what we want. So when we're not consciously manifesting, we're kind of on autopilot. And a lot of times those negative thoughts like fear and doubt and worries and insecurities and resentments and all of that kind of takes the driver's seat. And all of this is just about becoming conscious and learning to take that wheel back. So let's see, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so mantras. So one of the things that helped me, and I started doing this probably 20 years ago. It's been a long time. So anytime I felt my mind start to wander, I would instead say a mantra. So my mantra is love, truth, beauty, trust, harmony, peace. And I got that from Drunvalo Melchizedek's book, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, which was the book that made me awaken when I was 17 years old and put me on this spiritual path. And I actually have that mantra tattooed on me because it's so meaningful to me. And so I did this. Anytime my mind started to wander, I would just repeat those words over and over. And I completely trained myself. So now when my mind wanders, it's just me repeating those words over and over again. And again, like words are spells, right? What you focus on is what you'll attract. So if you have something really positive like that, love, truth, beauty, trust, harmony, peace, that's what you're going to bring more of your life, more into your life. And I don't recommend using the same mantra that I use. I recommend finding your own one that really resonates with you, because then it's going to be more impactful and meaningful to you. So yeah, you can condition yourself. You can retrain your brain. Another really great way to train your brain is by practicing gratitude. Gratitude automatically puts you on a higher frequency, and it's an incredible way to transport you into the frequency of abundance, especially as you're thinking about the life that you would love having. If you feel gratitude as though you already have that thing, the universe doesn't know the difference between you actually having that thing and you pretending to have that thing. So the universe is going to send you that thing, and then it's going to send you more things that are on that same higher frequency that you're vibrating at now, that you're living at now. And gratitude is a really great way to put yourself there. So let's see. Other mantras I really like. So anytime I notice myself kind of judging another person's body, there's a mantra I use. And by the way, we're all humans. We all do it, right? We'll see someone and, we'll have that kind of instant judgment thought. Like, people judge other people within like seconds of meeting them. And it's a really bad habit that we all have. And it's a really important one to unwind, because everyone's lovable, everyone's worthy, everyone's deserving. We're all parts of the same. Everyone is a reflection of you. And if there's something you love or hate about another person, it's only because you love or hate that thing about yourself. you know, we'll talk a lot more about triggers later on in the program as well. But I will just say that, oftentimes if there's something that irritates you or angers you in another person, it's because that's a reflection of something that you haven't healed in yourself. And if you had already healed that part, you wouldn't be irritated by its reflection back to you. So where was I going? Oh yeah. So if you find yourself judging another person's body, it's really great to just bring it back to your own body and say, thank you so much for my body. I think that my body is beautiful and perfect right now, exactly as it is. So another mantra I really like to use is like when I'm out walking, I love to repeat mantras. Like walks are moving meditation for me. I love moving my body. I'm a yoga teacher. I find it one of the best ways to release stress, one of the best ways to just think. Oftentimes I'll just put some earbuds in and just listen to books, like audiobooks. Like I digest like a book a week. I'm a total book nerd. I love reading. I love learning. I love expanding my mind. But anytime I'm not doing that, I'm often repeating a mantra while I'm walking. So, I like to send out love, truth, beauty, trust, harmony, peace, light, happiness to our beautiful planet Earth and to all life on her and to all life everywhere. And to imagine myself sending out that love and then receiving it back. Can you imagine how the world would change if everyone used this mantra just once a week? There's this amazing experiment that happened back in 1993 where a group of people meditated on peace in Washington, D.C. for 2 months. And at the time, D.C. was the crime capital of the country. And violent crimes like rapes and homicides were on the rise. So they brought all these people in to meditate on peace. And they found that they reached this tipping point where when they looked at the amount of violent crimes before, during, and after, the amount of violent crimes dropped by 23.2 or 0.3%. So 23%, that's pretty amazing. And it wasn't just violent crime rates that dropped, it was automobile accidents and emergency room visits. Like it just affected everything. And the researchers repeated this experiment in schools, in prisons, in cities all around the country, all around the world, even in the war-torn Middle East at the time. And they kept having the same results, so much so that they were able to pinpoint the exact amount of people that need to be meditating on peace in order for a tipping point to be reached. And it's the square root of 1% of a population. So the schools population, the cities, the regions, the prisons, wherever like you're working on it. And that's not a big number. Like there's less than 9 billion people in the world. And I think that's the right number, but that means that the square root of 1% of the world's population is less than 9,000 people. So if we all said these mantras, if we all focused on peace, on love, on healing energy, imagine the impact it could have on the world. But instead, so many people focus on fighting the thing that they don't want. It's all about changing yourself, right? Changing your mind, elevating yourself, rising in consciousness. Because when you rise up and you focus on peace and you start being a more peaceful person, a more loving person, a more healed person, you're going to impact the people in your immediate circle. And then those people, it's going to send a ripple effect out. Those people are going to affect the people in their communities and so on. And that's how you change the world, right? You change yourself first, because we live in a holographic universe. And if you know anything about a hologram, the cool thing is that you could cut a hologram into as many pieces as you want, as many size pieces as you want, and every single piece is going to be a representation of the whole. It's going to reflect the whole. And we live in this holographic universe where we all affect the whole. Greg Braden talks about it in his amazing book, The Divine Matrix, where there's this quantum canvas, essentially, that is the universe, right? And whatever we reflect out to it, it reflects back to us. And one person thinking something on one side of the world can change someone and affect someone thinking something on the other side of the world. We are all connected. We are all intertwined, and quantum physics backs this up. But if we are all reflecting peace, love, healing out into the world, it's going to help raise the level of humanity's consciousness. That's how you heal the world. Angry people can't create peace. Peaceful people only can create peace. So that's why when you're, focused on fighting a cause, you're just perpetuating this cycle of anger, of negativity, of drama, of, you're helping to feed into that thought form. And it's just going to give the world more situations, circumstances, people that make you want to feel that same way, that make you want to fight them too. And, by fighting outside causes, reality is a reflection of your inner world. Your inner world creates your outer world. And when you fight the outer world, you're really fighting yourself. So true change really happens within you. So that's all to say, mantras are great to bring it back around. And again, I encourage you to come up with your own mantras, find ones that resonate with you. There's no magic spell, magic words. It's just about what feels right to you. So again, hop on over to changeyourmindtochangeyourreality.com. I'm Chris Ashley. I'm a life coach. I'm an author. My book is coming out soon, and I can't wait to connect with you more. Have a great rest of your day.